All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest in. All right. I'm coming again with part 2, food for the spirit. Okay, food for your spirit. And this is part 2. Somewhere along the line, I forgot to push done so it would be uploaded that I will or would be going live at 7 p.m. So much for that. I forgot to do that. So there are those who might not have got word that I was going live at 7 p.m. Central Time. But again, this message is going to cover food for the spirit, part 2. And I want to continue in this on this topic because I believe there's something we need to desire more so than anything in this day and time. And that is the food for the spirit. Uh, I do know that we are those that have the Holy Spirit within them. Uh, that's food in itself. But the verses I bring to you is pretty much bringing it to your flesh so it can penetrate through your flesh to your spirit being, so you can have something to go on in this day and time and the day to come, so that you won't just be out here going to and fro trying to make sense of what is actually happening, what is actually taking place, and where do you stand in the midst thereof. And I want to start with Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. And I'm going to kind of recap yesterday, food for the spirit. I believe that somewhere along the line, uh, the Father, the Most High Yah, is preparing us to get out of here. And I'm not going to just say preparing because it's already finished in Him. So therefore, it's already prepared. But just to give you food for your spirit, to encourage you from the inside out, not so much as from the outside, but from the inside out. And this way you would know really where you stand today. Because I believe 99.9 are unaware of where they stand in the bosom of the Father. Right today. I'm serious. Today, they don't know and they care not. Um, they just go by what they have been taught, and that is He's coming for you. And you are all that and some. And you just sitting there like a stuffed animal. A stuffed animal don't have any type of movement. It just sits there. And I believe that many people are in that state of mind today, that this is where they feel they need to be. But I say unto you, food for the spirit energize you. It gives you more encouragement and more hope and more promise to what the Father has already said, that and how He's going to go about what to do. And I believe that because this week alone there are many things that He's spoken to me, and that alone assure me in a way that, hey, I am subject. to be here when he collects us out of the land from the four corners, but from this land, United States of America. So we're going to come from Isaiah 45 and we're going to go to verse 7. We're coming from Isaiah chapter 45 and we're going to start with verse 7. And it reads, I formed the light and created darkness. I made peace and created evil. I, Ahia, do all these things. Now, what did you just see there? You saw what you call tools being set up. He just gave you an example of how he rumbles, when and where in heaven. This is how he rumbled in heaven, you guys. Let's go over it again. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. It reads, I form the light and create darkness. I made peace and created evil. I, Ahia, do all these things. Now, what is he saying? These four things letting you know I run this. I created this, but I run this. I did these things, all of them. So that's going back to inform you that we think that Satan has so much dominion and so much power, as we think as well regarding our men today. We're giving all the credit and the authority to those who are not entitled, and they are not the ones who created all these things. I love what he says because he letting you know I formed light and I created darkness. But then he dropped it into another order. Those were two, light and darkness. And then he said, I made peace, and I created evil. Evil is the opposite of peace. Light was the opposite of darkness. I'm saying, so therefore he's showing you things that he set up when he got ready to set it up in heaven. He set everything in twos. You see? So this is Deborah's trying to get you to understand you're freer than you think you are. You really are. It's just something in you from the inside that you are set to liberty. You are free. You are free indeed. Here in verse chapter 45 of Isaiah, and verse excuse me, in verse 7, he's letting you know I formed the light. I created the darkness. I make peace, and I create evil. I, Ahia, do all these things. Now just think. If he's telling you he is over this, this is what he created, and he has the power over this, what are you afraid of? You see, these things he is the creator of, and he's letting you know of all these things. Let me hit this other light because it seems like I'm in darkness. Sorry about that. So he's letting you know exactly what Sister Deborah was telling you earlier today. He set it up in twos. Everything the Father did in the heaven, he set it up in twos. So whenever you want to think about anything regarding the Father, set it up in twos and you'll find your answer. That's how simple it is. Don't set it up in one. Set it up in twos. So if you say this, find the word or find that which is the opposite to this. You see what I'm saying? And you'll find your answer. Because everything has been set up in twos from the heaven. He did that before heaven and earth was created. He did that at his own throne. He set everything up in twos. Once you understand that even you yourself has been set up from the flow up already in one of those, either one or number two. You see? So what I'm saying is what you know what else I realize I'm saying? Give that power back to where it belongs. Stop taking the power to your mind to gain your own understanding and your own wisdom. Give it back to where it belongs. It belongs to the Father, the Most High God. Okay? It don't belong to us. We are not entitled to that type of power, you guys. It is his power. It is his right hand. It is his stretched out arm. Okay? So we need to, when we communicate, we need to break everything down in twos. Say, for instance, and you're trying to figure out why this is like this here. Break it down in twos and you'll find your answer. So you'll learn that, wait a minute, Sister Deborah said everything was created. It was created in twos. So it gives you a helping hand to understand why things are the way that it is. It's not broke down in one. It's broke down in two. Even marriage, it's broke down in two. A marriage is either unequally yoked or equally yoked, broke down in two. The unequally yoked is not of Yah. The equally yoked is of Yah. Total difference. Total difference. One is unequally and one is equal. Marriage. If you want to say, let's say female. Even when you say a female, let's say a female woman, 45 years old, you break her down in twos. Okay? You can break her down in hundreds of ways in twos. She either this or she either that. You see what I'm saying? It'll help you in a way that's off the chain and give you a more clear understanding of how heaven orchestrated everything in twos. Okay, so here in Isaiah 45, verse 7, he said, I formed the light. That's one. And I created the darkness. That's two. I made peace. That's one. And I created evil. That's two. The opposite of peace is evil. It's one of the opposite of evil is peace. The opposite of peace is evil. Okay. I, Ahia, do all these things. So Sister Deborah is not telling you something out of her understanding. I'm giving you a blessing to take with you. Put it, fold it up and put it in your suitcase. Now, this suitcase is a spiritual suitcase. You're packing your way. So whenever Yah comes, you will be ready. You see? And it's not materialistic things in this suitcase. It's spiritual things. It's food for your spirit that's in this suitcase as well. Okay? So let's go to Proverbs 16 and verse. In Proverbs 16 and verse 4, this here is to help us in this day and time. We wrestle with what is going on. We're trying to figure it out, trying to work it out, try to make sense of it. But like I said, if you start doing everything in twos, it'll help you better understand. Okay? Just breaking things down into twos. Never leave it to be one. Break it down in twos. Now in Proverbs 16, it reads in verse 4. Proverbs 16 is a chapter each and every last one of you all should eat from. Please eat from Proverbs 16. It's from Proverbs 16, verse 1 to, let's say, 15. Eat it. I mean, that's a lot of food for the spirit right before your eyes. Eat from it. Now, here in Proverbs 16, and when you get to verse 4, hear this. Ahia has made. There it go again, y'all. Why won't we give that power back to the one who made all things? What is wrong with us to think that we can figure these things out that's going on and taking place in our lives, in the world, in our community, in our tribe, in our nation, Republicans and Democrats? When you take it all and just divide it up in twos, two will help you understand exactly what it is. It really would. It'll lead you to a better understanding than to just assume that it's just one and it is what they say it is. No, break them things down into twos to try to figure out what it is. How did it become what it is and what it's going to be in the days to come? Now, when you look at Proverbs 16 and verse 4, Ahiah has made all things for himself. Now, what people don't understand, there's many of verses where the Father is telling you this is his will. He made everything for himself and for his purpose and for his will. Somewhere along the line, the flesh of man believes that what Yah has created was just for them. Yah made nothing for woman and made nothing woman, nor did he make nothing just for man. It was all for himself. That's a hard pill to swallow when you live in this world all these years. You thinking you all that and some. You're thinking where you at, where you been, what you have, where you going. It's all you. And that's the mindset of the people today. Even in the midst of saying Yahuwah, Yah, you see, they're still saying his name, but claiming they are the power of what they have, what they got, where they been, where they're going, and what life has to throw at them. We got it. I got it together. And that's sad. That's real sad, because the outcome is they're going to rest in the books of the dead that leads to the lake of fire. Okay. Now, here in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, it says, Ahiah has made all things for himself. What did I just tell y'all? Stop stealing and taking and being deceiving people by taking this power and making it your authority, your right, your will, your way. Give that power back to where it belongs, where it come from, where it started, where it is. Okay? And on the earth, we have this real bad habit of taking the power of the Father and create it as if it belonged to us as an individual, and that we swing this power, this authority. You see? And we don't understand we're dipping in fire. We really are. And it's the wicked fire. Okay? Now, here in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, it says, Yah has made all things for himself. And then it says, yea. And it's really what it's saying. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. Did you hear that? Yes. Then it goes into even, not only everything was created for myself, but even the wicked for the day of evil. The wicked for the day of evil. Now, let me tell you something. Anybody that can create that, if there's no fear in you, I mean rooted in your spirit, of that individual who can create evil for the days of evil, or create wicked for the days of evil, something wrong with you. And you are, and you will, in the books of the dead that leads to the lake of fire. This is why I say this is not the type of power no one on the earth should be claiming, should be taking it as if it belongs to them. We should be preaching and teaching power of the Father, of the Most High God, and it does not belong to us to swing it, to deceive many by multitude. And that's what people are thinking. This person has the power to teach us. This person has the top power to preach to us. This person has the power to do things to make us feel comfortable where we at. That's why people and the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah have done it since the beginning of time in Genesis, an idol God. That's their part of having an idol God, and not the God of the all power, not the God of all creation, not the God that created wicked for the days of evil, not the one who created evil itself. No, no, no. They can't seem to give him what is due him. That's why there's no fear. Have you ever thought why you don't see any fear on the earth today? There's no fear. Nobody fears God at all. Y'all ain't noticed that? No one has any fear for him because they don't know who he is. And they don't fear him because they never got to know the power that rests therein that right hand. Even Satan knew when Job was the father was telling him to have you tried Job. Satan was telling him, like, hey, I know what Job is to you. You got the hedge around him. And anyway, you not only got the hedge around Job, you got around his whole family. I ain't finna come up on Job. And then the father said, I tell you what, I take this hedge from around him. And what it say? I'm better than that. Why? Because he knew that until the father laid hands on Job, laid that right hand on Job, nothing mean anything. Watch this here. Now, this is, and it bothers me, y'all. It really, y'all probably say, well, why does it bother you? It bothers me because it's such a powerful message, and it's such a lesson to all of us as far as the Father's power. Let me show you what I mean by that. Okay. I'm just going to show you. Okay. In the chapter, Job, chapter 1, in the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 10, I'm going to show you that Satan knew the mystery, like Sister Deborah knew the mystery, is that right hand. You see, you don't tamper with that right hand. Now, that right hand just told you in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, I created all things for myself, even the wicked for the days of evil. If that ain't enough to know, to let you know that this is the type of power that said he created this, and you don't stand up against him like you somebody, against that type of power, you sicker than sick. You are prepared for the books, for the lake of fire. When you think like that, when you don't have no fear of who this creator really is. Now listen to how Satan, I like this here because I like how the respect he gives my father. I love how he gives my father this respect. Now look in here in Job chapter 1 verse 10. This is Satan. Has not thou made a hedge about him and about his house and about all he has on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Now this is Satan telling the father, I'm not finna mess with you. I know you said you'll take the hedge. I know you sending me on Job, but you think I'm gonna go on Job because you sending me on Job when I know you got something powerful than what you said? I ain't going on Job. But what did he say? You get to you get to 11. But put forth that hand. Hallelujah. I love that. I love what he said there because it tells me I am the seed of the woman. He is the seed of the serpent. But yet even the serpent knows that my father has a powerful right hand. Now listen to what he says to Yah regarding his right hand. He says in Job chapter 1, verse 11, but put forth thy hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Guess what he said? You see that? Satan is telling the father, I know your secret place is in that hand. See, Satan knew it. I knew it. That's why I'm trying to explain to y'all. I'm a student of the Holy Spirit. 99.9 have taught in churches, on these devil platforms, in academy, in everything. And no one never knew about the right hand. Satan knows. Because Satan knows that everything he created it with that right hand. Even himself was created by that same power. Satan knows that, and he knows it. He telling him, has not thou had a hedge about him? In verse 10, Job chapter 1, and about his house, all that he have on every side. God has blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Now here goes Satan. Listen to what he said. But I tell you what, put forth that hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. So because Satan knows what's in that right hand. Let's go to verse 12. And Ahiah said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Why? Because the Father had to touch Job before Satan can do anything with him. You see? And Satan knew that. Satan knew it was in that hand. He knew it was in the Father's hand. And it's that right hand where the power of Yah is, where the power of Yah rests. Okay? And he knew it. So he said, I know you had a hedge around Job and his family and all that he had, but I tell you what, put forth that hand right now. And I bet you. See, and then you drop down to chapter 2, he said the same thing. I ain't finna touch Job. I ain't finna go after Job again until you what? Put forth that hand. See, because Satan knew about the right hand. And it's a sad thing today that we're in, that 99.9 of people be on this devil platform teaching and preaching, don't know nothing about the power of the Father. And this is what he was saying in Proverbs 16. He was giving you a hint that, hey, I created it. I created Proverbs 16, verse 4. Ahiah has made all things for himself. No man, he didn't make nothing for you. That's what the Roman Catholic put in there, for you to think that Yah's creation was for you. No, it wasn't. It was for himself. Why? Because before anything was created, heavens had it wrote in and wrote out. So that who was it for then? It wasn't for you. It was for him all the time. Because he wrote it for himself, not for you. He orchestrated it and planned it for himself, not for you. So here in Proverbs 16, verse 4, and Ahiah has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the days of evil. Everybody writing that there, right there, you need to stand down. Because this is where the power is at. It's where you know not, in his right hand. That's why people still didn't know who Yeshua was and who Hamashiach was. That's why the battle of religion and denominations is really kind of surrounding the Son and the Father. But they didn't understand there was two sons up in that. They didn't understand because they didn't understand Genesis 1, verse 26. They didn't understand us was a son. It was the son of Yah's power. His name is Hamashiach. See, Yeshua came down as a woman, as a flesh born of a woman. He was what you call son of a man. But then there's one that came down with him, which was the son of Yah, which carried the power, the word, and the spirit to support the Son of Man in the mission to take him all the way to Calvary. It's no way he could have made it to Calvary without the Son of Yah. That's the power that took him there. That's who he was talking to when he got to Gethsemane. Take away this bitter cup. Oh, no, not my will, but thy will. That's who he was talking to. He felt he once he got on that cross and he started to talk about why have thou forsaken. That's who he was talking to. The power, the spirit, and the word of Yah on that cross that had to leave him on the cross as the Son of Man and not the Son of Yah. Okay, let's go to John. The Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 19. The Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19 to 21. When we get to the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19 through 21, let us read. And this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men, males, loved darkness. See, you all don't get it. You all don't get none of it. And you know what? Right now, to me, eat the food of the spirit and digest that, and you'll be okay. Because a lot of things I'm saying you might not get, but take of it in the spiritual realm, not so much in the flesh, but in the spiritual realm where it's easy to digest. Now, listen to this. In the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Now, what are we dealing with? There go the twos again. We're dealing with twos. We're dealing with twos. We're dealing with those who are born in the of the darkness and those who are born of the light. Okay, what do they have in common? Nothing. Matter of fact, they are enemies to themselves. I mean, to each other, toward each other. The Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds are evil. The evil represents darkness, y'all. The evil represents darkness. And what is he doing? He's showing you the light and the darkness. But you got to see where their deeds were dark. Those that are in the darkness and love darkness, their deeds are evil. And that's a known fact. You see it all over the world. Okay. Verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hate the light. You see, there go the two again. The ones that do evil hates the light. You go back to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. This is where he put the division. There going to be seeds of the serpent, and there's going to be seed of the woman. See, we don't want to accept the two because we don't want to embrace that we never knew truth. And we're not going to come to embrace it in this day and time. But those who eat from the plate of spirit and truth, they themselves know the food of the flesh is not going to be able to support them and comfort them in the way of in this day and time. Let's put it like that, because it's in this day and time that we're in that it doesn't make any sense. A lot of things is taking place, and it leaving you going to and fro, trying to figure this thing out, trying to get this thing to work out. But when you throw down in twos, you can find your way. Darkness, what does it say in verse 20? For everyone that doeth evil hate light, neither cometh to the light, lest deeds should be reproved. Unless his deeds shall be reproved. There are people who are walking in the darkness that really belong in the light. You see? And there are some that have come to the light that was in the darkness and was walking the ways of the darkness. And they have made it to the place where they're gonna to from this, not just this day on, from now on, once they walk into the light and they are approved, then they are going to continue in the light because they were called to walk in the light. It's just that they saw darkness, and darkness just won them over. Okay, so here we go. In verse 21, it says, but he that doeth truth come to the light. You see, doeth truth. What do I tell you? Spirit and truth. The light is spirit, you guys. Okay, but listen to what it says in verse 21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. Yes, it is, because their deeds are may be manifested. Why? Because the Father said in Revelation chapter 20, okay, everything is already written. Okay, your works, your everything is already written. Let's say, for instance, you're going to get rewards. Your rewards are already written in the Lamb Book of Life. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that heavens has already locked everything in and everything out. That means not even the Son of Man can interfere with the book of life and the Lamb, and the books of death. He can't even interfere with it until the Father hands it over, and if he lets him open it, or if the Father judge you from it. The Son of Man, it don't have the power to tamper with those books that leads to death, to the lake of fire, or the book of life. Okay, so here he's telling you still about twos. He's telling you about the darkness represented by evil. He's telling you about the light that represented the truth. You see? So everything he's telling you today, he's letting you know that you have to just be able to sit down and just look at it and dissect it and say, oh, wait, this is just simple. This is evil and this is not. You see what I'm saying? It's just that simple. It's just that simple. We make it hard because we hear so many voices in the land saying, hey, this. But y'all want you to know it's just as simple as breaking them that one into two. And he said, always go right back to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. He told you he told Satan that he was going to put a division there. And this is where the twos come in. You see, right there is where it come in. A lot of people, 99.9, do not understand, cannot grip it, cannot understand it. But why? Because they are of the darkness. So you got to somewhere understand when you out there ministering to people, you ministering to your family, you ministering to your children, you ministering to your neighborhood, to your community, to people in your church, or you ministering on your workplace, and you trying to get people to see something that you can just see plainly. Don't waste your time anymore. Because Genesis chapter 3 and 15, he told Satan, as when he told us in the beginning, there's going to be a division. I'm going to put something there to separate the two seed. All the way through the whole book, it's giving you things in twos, letting you know he that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. He that is born of the spirit is of the spirit. It's just so many things he's showing you that I set everything up in twos. Then he pull up in Revelation telling you about the Lamb Book of Life. Sister Deborah, I always focus on the Lamb Book of Life. I had no fullness. I knew it was, I just assumed it was another book. I had no idea that it is books with an S that leads to the lake of fire. You see? So that leads me back to the twos. Heaven's already got two direction. Each and every last one of us are going to reside for eternal in those two directions. That's where he came up with narrow is the gate, broad is the way to the broad gate. The two. He separated them into twos. You can find your way in any and everything by separating it by twos. Recognizing one is going to be Satan and one is going to be the spirit of your Father in the heavens, those that he has suffered to be on the earth. He's going to have his, and Satan going to have his. When everything you do, so when you're trying to figure out, well, why I've been ministering to my neighbors for 3 years and just can't get, don't worry about it. It does not mean that that individual is fully the seed of Satan, but you have to let it go. Let them go in your study and your teaching with them, and let them go. You have to know when you've given them enough food, okay? You have to know when you minister to your wife for so long and she's still not getting it, and you minister to your husband for so long, or you've been telling your children and it seems like they still falling away from it, or they missing something. Don't, what Sister Deborah is saying, work within you where Yah reside. Touch base with the spirit of the Most High Yah within you, within your spirit. Prepare yourself for the journey. Pack your spiritual bag, okay? Because we're so busy trying to really prepare everybody else, and all we doing is going in a circle, because it ain't for everybody. You know, he never created it to be for everybody. If so, he would have one book instead of many. You know what else got me is something else that got me is Yeshua, when he came to collect, and he talked about how he separate the sheep, which is not an S, which is a oneness, just like the book of life, which is a oneness. He said, I separate the sheep from the goats. The goats has an S on it. You see, those are the ones that's going to the lake of fire. There go the two. There go the two. The two in which the Father created, the sheep and the goats. Yeshua is separating the two. The two. He's separating. He put the sheep on the right, and he put the goats with an S on the left. You go back to the wheat and the tare. Same thing. Two. See? Two. Separating. He said, I would do the separation because heavens has already separated the wheat from the tare. You see, we just overworking ourselves. A lot of things is simple. The Father say, because of darkness, we make it so hard to just embrace. See, if we embrace it, we can run on and probably be able to minister to many. But because we get stuck on trying to really make someone see something that they're never going to see, or they might see, but you have to know how to give them the food for the spirit and pull away and let what? The Father do the increase, if they are called to be in the light. And it's called here in Proverbs, no, in John, in the Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hate the light, neither come to the light, lest his deed be reproved. So if only one can do that is the Father in heaven, not even Yeshua. Only the Father in heavens. Why? Because he knows who is who in this book of life and in these books of death. He knows. Okay. Now let's go to Acts 26. In Acts chapter 26 and verse 18. Acts chapter 26 and verse 18. Acts chapter 26 and verse 18, it reads, to open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light. These are the individual who now I can't say at the end, yeah, I can say at the end, and whatever time that the Father have set, those, it says, those who, let's say verse 18, Acts chapter 26, verse 18, to open their eyes, to open their eyes. And let's go back. We're going to have to come up to verse 17. We're going to go up to Acts chapter 26, and we're going to read verse 17. Delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles, unto whom now I send thee, to open the eyes and to turn them from darkness to the light, and from the power of Satan unto Yah, that they may receive forgiveness of sin and inherit among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. Now, faith is one of the brands. I love that. I love this in 18 because I see faith, by faith that is in me. This faith that is in Yeshua is also branded in those who are of the light. The brand that the Father has is righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Okay, those are the Father's brands that He has branded His. Okay, when in the heavens before the foundation of the world, they were branded. Okay, now when they get down here to earth, where Satan has his dominion, they get caught up in the darkness. Now, listen to what it says in Acts chapter 26 and verse 18, to open their eyes, see, and to turn them from darkness. See, not only is he going to open their eyes, he's going to turn them from darkness to what? To light. You see? And from the power of Satan unto God. See, he showed you the darkness to light, and he showed you from Satan power to the Yah. You see? There go the twos. He's breaking it down in twos to bring what? These individuals back to the brand faith. Now watch what's this here. That they may receive forgiveness of sin and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. See, they already sanctified. They already have it in them. Okay? So Yah is turning them from darkness to the light that they should have been in. He's turning them from the power of Satan back to him. You see? Don't think that the Father's power don't know who's who and what's what. He knew when he told Satan in Genesis chapter 3 and 15, I'm going to put a division. Just because I put that division, that don't mean the ones that's in the light is going to fall away and go into the darkness. Yes, many are. But why they can't stay in darkness? Guess why? Because the Most High has to bring them out of that darkness, cause them to see light. Why? Because in the Lamb Book of Life are listed. They're already listed. So he has to bring them out. You see? Because they're listed in the Lamb Book of Life, not in the books of the dead that goes to the lake of fire. See, that's what you have to understand about the power. The power already knows who's who and what's what. It's going to collect your butt out of the era in which you are in that you don't belong. Okay? And they're going to bring you out and bring you back to Yah. You're going to see the light. You're going to come out of darkness. You're going to recognize where you need to be. See, and that requires a praise, y'all. That requires a praise. Just to thank the Most High Yah, that if you are so confused even to today, if you are written in the Lamb Book of Life, he's going to bring you out of darkness. And what else it says? And from the power of Satan. Who going to do that? The power of Yah. See, Satan's power can't power Yah's. He the one power he got. So this is another breaking it up. He's breaking it back up like it was in Genesis chapter 3 and 15. Intimacy between the woman seed and yours, Satan. Mine is on one side, yours is on another. And I know mine to come down here. You know what it reminds me of? How I was taught what took place before the foundation of the world. Because what he taught me, and let me share something with y'all. What he taught me when I was a young girl, what took place before the foundation of the world, is when he sun hands down, they got, you see? And in that process, if they don't come back through Yeshua, then they're going to come back one way or another. Here it is. Acts chapter 26 and 18. To open their eyes and to turn them from darkness. He ain't saying that they're going to do that themselves. No, no. This is the power of my Father who have already orchestrated where they need to be. Now, is it going? It could wait till the end. Yes, he can. Y'all can do whatever he want, how he want, and when he want. You see, some of them don't wait till the end. Some of them already turned. But this here is in the hands of that right hand of the Father. But I love it because it shows you and I that there are those that still sitting in darkness. He's going to cause them to turn from darkness to light. That's beautiful, y'all. That's beautiful. So here it even letting you know, and they're going to not only turn from darkness to light, they're going to turn from the power of Satan. They're going to come from the power of Satan. The power of Satan has won them over. But what happens? Until Yah, he letting you know, I'm coming to get mine, Deborah. You better tell those people I'm coming to get mine. And even Satan power can't hold mine back. Praise the mighty Yah. Okay, let's go to Romans chapter 13, verse 12. And in that one there, it shows you the two. It shows you Satan. It shows you Yah. It shows you darkness. It shows you light. Okay. It shows you forgiveness of sin. Okay. And the inheritance among them, which are sanctified by faith. They already set aside by faith. That's in me. That's what Yeshua was saying. See? Faith, I'm telling y'all, is one of the brands. That's how the Gentiles got in. That's how they got in. That's how they got grafted in. But they didn't get grafted in on the earth. They got grafted in the heavens. But they got grafted in through faith and belief. Okay? Now, we go in Romans chapter 13. In Romans chapter 13, verse 12. In Romans chapter 13, verse 12. Romans chapter 13, verse 12. And it reads, the night is far spent, and the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. You see? Listen to this again. This is going back doing what? It's breaking down twos, y'all. It's breaking everything down in twos. Once you learn to break things down in twos, hey, let me tell you something. You're going to be a good minister to somebody. You're going to be able to tell people something. If you're able to break things down in twos, like heavens has orchestrated it, then you can be able to minister to people. Really, seriously. Okay? And when you're able to break it, breaking everything that the Most High has brought into twos. You don't have to be able to break everything, but the majority, especially dark and light, you know, righteous and unrighteous, you know, those sort of things, breaking them things down in twos. Okay. Now, when you get to Romans chapter 13 and verse 12, it says, the night is far spent and the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. The armor of light is spiritual, you guys. And he's telling you, put away the works of the darkness. He's telling you, put away the works of the darkness. And then it began to tell you all the things in verse 13. But I want to show you in verse 12, the night is far spent. There go the night. Where's the opposite of the night? Day. The day is at hand. It's telling you the night has had all that it needed to have. It didn't had all the time. And night has. The darkness has took a look at the world. And it's saying that verse 12, the night is far spent. The dark, let me tell you, the evil done had all its ways, y'all, all its time. Now it's telling you the day is at hand. We finna get a breakthrough because the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. So if you know that you have the works of darkness, cast that stuff away. It has nothing to do with light. It has nothing in common. If you got habits, all kind of bad, evil, wicked habits, and you know that these habits works in darkness, cast that stuff away. The trumpet has been blown. Yah is coming for what is his. Okay? Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Put it on. Because if you already of the light, put on that armor, meaning a spiritual armor. Get rid of all that darkness, that wicked, that evil, those habits, those addictions that you know that you know. See, did you know that you already know that they are wicked and evil? The backbiting, the talking about people, the hate, the jealousy, the envy, and all these other things that follows darkness. Get rid of it. Why? Because day is at hand. That's dangerous, y'all. That's very dangerous. It's letting you know a different time period is at hand, and it ain't coming to play. That's exactly what it said. It's letting you know the darkness done had its time. Now the day finna roll in. And for the Hebrew Israelites, or for the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, those that are in the light, this is a good day for them. This day that it speaks of is good for them. Because darkness, what does it say in verse 12? Night is far spent. It didn't had all this time to do all this wicked and evil. But the day is rolling in for us, y'all. This is a sign. Even hearing that is telling us, be ready. Be ready. Okay. So now let's go to the Gospel of John, chapter 11. The Gospel of John, chapter 11 and verse 10. Let's see what the Gospel of John, chapter 11 and verse 10. The Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 10. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbles, because there is no light for him. You see that? And this is where a lot of us are at when we trying to minister to our loved ones, and we trying to get others in our community or on our job or in our group or in our family to see the light, to recognize the light, and to walk therein. The Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 10 says, but if a man walk in the night, he stumbles, because there is no light in him. You see how it says in him? That's where the light resides, you guys. The light is not your outer man, it's your inner man. The darkness is not their outer man, it's their inner man that works through their outer man to do the dark works. The light is in your inner man. It teaches you to live it out, your outer man. So he's saying here, but if a man walk in the night, he stumble, because there is no light in him. So it's taking you out of a mindset which 99.9 believe that it's an outer thing. No, it's an inner thing. You see, it's an inner thing. I come to accept that if the Father has books in the heavens of the dead that leads to the lake of fire, then those people are dark inside. Their spirit is dark. You see? And this is what this is saying. He don't have any light inside because he has darkness from the inside. His spirit is darkness. And it lives out the darkness of his flesh. Okay? So this is why he stumbles, because he don't have what it takes. There go the twos again. It's showing you what happens when they go into the night. They stumble. And when they stumble and they're in the night and they stumbling because they don't have what you call light. Let me tell you, a lot of people will always quote the marriage vows. Million and trillion of people are counselors of marriage counseling and marriage counsel. They counsel marriages. But a lot of them need to stay away from it, because a marriage, it goes two ways. It can be fleshly marriage or it can be spiritual marriage. You can counsel anybody that lives in the darkness of a marriage, meaning of the flesh. But you just can't counsel everybody that are living in the light in unity of the spirit marriage. That's why it gets confused and mixed up, because people thinking when a man asks a woman to marry him, that's it. This is something Yah has done. That's not true. That's not true. Because Yah knows the inside and the outside of that individual. He's not going to put two people that's unequally yoked together. He's not going to put two dark people together. He's not going to put one person in the light and one in the dark together in hope that the one is in the dark can see the light of the other. No. And that's the mindset of the flesh. Oh, I can change him, or he can change me. We can learn to live together, to change one another. No. Marriages that Yah sends vows for his will and his power, his authority, are two lights. Just as he did with Adam and Eve. They were two darkness that came together. That's who they were. And he knew it. Even though he put them down in a perfect form, he already knew they were two darkness. Why? Because neither nor chose not to do. So they were on one accord. You see? So those were two that were joined together as one spirit of darkness. You see? And you know what? That's how simple it is. So when people wanting to get counseling of a marriage, they really don't understand what they're getting into. Because let's say, for instance, if I was married and we need to get marriage counseling, 99.9 go to people who are not in the light. They go to people in the world. You see? So this is where you know all of those, that sort of stuff is not of Yah. Yah is going to cause someone that's light to meet someone that's in the light. Are they going to be same equally light? No. One going to be maybe more light, the other one will be less. It doesn't matter if one is lesser than the other. You're bringing light together to form a unity for the will of the Father. You see? To work the spiritual will of the Father. Because Yah knows if I can bring them equally yoked, then their children will be equal. They will serve me, and then their children to serve me. What does Yah look like bringing two alcoholics, two drug dealers, or two those who on drugs, one on alcohol, one on drugs, one that don't want to work and one that works? Yah ain't about all of that. He's not. That's the author of all kind of confusion and chaos. When Yah bring a marriage together, that's why he said, let no man put you all under. I can put you, but no man can. No man can divide this marriage. He said, let no man. He didn't say he couldn't. He said, let no man. Because he sees it for what it is, and he knows how to correct a marriage and how to put it back into one unity if it's equally yoked and they two walking in the light. See, that's why it's messed up from the floor. And all this that I've been saying to you in the last 2 days is showing you twos. And even in the form of twos, you're not going to put Satan's seed with her seed and call it equal. Not with Yah. That's not how he is, and he never was. We make him like that because we think that we know his thoughts and his ways without even getting to know who he is and knowing his thoughts. He will share with you his thoughts. He will share with you his ways because he's been with me since I was 4. And I know there's too many times in my life, even this last week, he's shared things with me. His ways, his thoughts. Because if I think something that's not pleasing to him, what do he say? Okay, now, baby, we ain't doing your way. We doing my way. So who thought is that? His thoughts, his way. You see? That's the whole form of discipline and chastising. Because he takes you from your way and chastise you his way. See? They couldn't tell y'all that. Only the servants of the Most High Yah. He said in the last days, the servants of the Most High Yah carries the mystery that is really not a mystery, but they carry it to give unto you all. Okay? So let's go to Ephesians, last chapter, Ephesians. And if you have any questions after this chapter and verse, you have any questions, we're going to have time to answer any questions. And it don't have to be about this topic. I'm just open to whatever. Okay, we in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8. And it reads, for ye are sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. Walk as children of the light. Why isn't it telling you walk as the Hebrew Israelites? Walk as the true Jews. Walk as the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. No, he's telling you walk as children of the light. No, walk as children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, that's not going to get you. Walk as children of the light. Spirit and truth is very powerful, you guys, because it is the teaching of the Ruach HaKodesh that's in you. He wants to give you the spirit and the truth of how the spirit have orchestrated things to be. In the process, you carry the light. You see? That gives you an eye opener to see in darkness, the light. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8, it says, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. So I say unto you this evening, that was food for your spirit. And it would help you a great deal in how you can minister and speak to others by allowing them to be on any side that they are on, but explain to them that there's two sides. Just as there is a right and there is a wrong. Okay? There is a side of wicked, say evil, and I would say good, evil, and I would say righteous and unrighteous. Okay? Dark and light. You can go any way you want to. Say, for instance, you sitting down talking to somebody and y'all holding a conversation. When they start to talk, have an ear to hear them. Because if you hear them, you can take those tools that me and Sister Deborah been talking about in part 1 and part 2, take it and then be able to be a good speaker by hearing them speak. It'll let you know or which side are they on. Are they on the dark side or the light side? Or are they in between? And all you do is offer them another side. If they are on the dark side, you offer them the light. Okay? If they are on the light side, you just tell them to stay away from the dark side. You see what I'm saying? So you just wanting people to understand heavens. This is the key to it. When you talk to people, you tell them that he has 2 places that everybody is going, like into 2 books, the book of life and the books of death. The book of death, the books of death of the dead is called the book of the dead. The book of the dead goes to the lake of fire, but the book of life live eternal. See, it's so easy to where you won't be judging no one. You won't be, it's a way that you can be a minister and build up treasures in the heavens, speaking to people, even if it's your family members, even if it's the neighbors or somebody you meet in the store, just letting them know that there's 2 sides to the way that he created it. And if you get somebody that's learned, take them back to Genesis chapter 3 and 15. It's hard for them. Just look at that enmity between. Let them know he put something between Satan and the woman's seed. Satan's seed and the woman's seed. That there should be an eye opener for anybody. That should be a starter for a ministry. I'm serious, because it makes people start to see that, wait a minute, when was this chosen? This was done before the heaven and earth was created. So heaven's already orchestrated it. He comes down and tells Satan that, okay, yours going to be on one seed and mine's going to be on another seed. Okay. And I put something between the 2. Meaning, really, he letting Satan know, you ain't going to never get what's mine. I put between it. Even when you're going to try and you think you got them, guess what? I'm going to come for them in the dark, like the scriptures were saying. I'm going to come get them while they're in the dark, and I'm going to bring them to the light. Satan don't have no problem with that. Why don't Satan have a problem with that? Because Satan has many of seeds that's going to join him in the lake of hell. How do you say that? And why do you say that, Deborah? Because many verses in Revelation tells you that. He tells you that the broad gate leads to destruction. That leads to the lake of fire. He tells you in Revelation 20, those that are written in the book of the dead goes to the lake of fire. See? So Satan ain't down here. And a lot of y'all kind of messed up from the floor up because of so many churches many have been in, and so many of these YouTubers and all these people you've been under. They just sending you a bunch of flesh messages and got you thinking it's about what they say it is, instead of reaching to spirit and truth of the whole matter. Because that's the whole matter, is spirit and truth. The Father Yah is spirit and he is the truth. So who can and when he starts to teach you that within you by him, till nothing, you all also have to get to the point where you can feel him teaching you in you. You can feel that greater one that's in you than he that's in the world. 99.9 can't feel it because they don't know what it's supposed to feel like, because they got too much darkness covering them. They don't know what it feels like. Sister Deborah, why would I lie about him? If I told you at 4 years old, that shows you I'm feeling something. Something it's been leading and guiding me, being with me. And that's how you are. You need to learn to be humble and feel that teaching of the Holy Spirit teaches you, lead you and guide you, show you things to come. And what did he say? I'm going to pour out my spirit on your daughters and your sons, and they shall prophesy. These people today, the way these pastors and these teachers, these bishops, these seers, these priests, these Maureen, these all these people out here, they have taken every gift that heaven has showered until the church. The church don't know if they're going or coming. None of them know their gifts. They don't know their purpose. Because honestly, I know how to interpret tongues, speaking in tongues. And what happened is a lot of people don't know there's more than one tongue. And because they wasn't called, appointed, and anointed with that gift, like Paul wasn't, they just assume that it's not needed. And that's what has happened. He has not wiped his gift from out the church or out of the body. It's man and woman have taken it and caused it to be trashed. It is needed for the body of Hamashiach because he is the power, and all those gifts was given to the body. So all of us that's in that body, we need those gifts. So when they in the church, they thinking, okay, we're not needed. They took they took speaking in tongues out of the church and put praise dancing. Why? Because that does the flesh. It satisfies the flesh. But they didn't understand what the tongues was. See, only person can tell you what speaking in tongue is he that was given the gift to speak in tongue. And on top of it, me, myself, the interpreter of the tongue. So therefore, you can't come to me and tell me tongues don't exist. And it's no reason for it. You can tell that, you can sell that to some other bird, but this little hen here, you can't tell her that. Because I can hear, understand the tongues. I can interpret the tongues. And I have spoke many tongues in the church. Now, there is another tongue that's greater than that is spoken in the church. And that is the private tongue, the Holy Ghost tongue. When he wants you to commune directly to him and you. And people right today, they don't even be bothered with that either. No one be bothered. And he want us to have a relationship with him. He want to, how would I comfort our spirit with that message from his spirit? But we don't want those things. That's why a lot of us don't know our calling. We don't know our purpose. We don't even know why we in the body of Hamashiach. We just said we in there. We ain't got no mission in us, no purpose, no destiny, no vision, no nothing. So I am open for 5 minutes of questioning. Anybody have any question of anything, of any, not just the topic, but there's a lot of things that I think the gift that were given are still present. I just think that the body of Hamashiach, the church, is just off course all the way. And because of that, they suffer a great deal of not knowing or not having the gifts before them. I put it like that. So we give the Most High, yes, all praise, all honor. If we have any question, please, you got 4 minutes now before sister. And I hope you got something out of this, because this is truly food for the spirit. And I'm I need to get away from that hope. I know that the Father has such an awesome plan on how, and do you know the way that the Father's going to bring us out is not going to be the ways of some man or some woman. No prophet, no prophetess, no minister, no preacher, no deacon, no priest, no bishop, no evangelist. I can say no pastor, nobody is going to know how the Most High is going to bring us out. And a good thing about it is we can detach ourselves to some scripture or some verse that explains it to us. But the way that he's going to do it, just as he told Moses to go tell Pharaoh to let the people go, he never told Moses how he would bring them out. This is where we need to be in here. Stop trying to overbeat him and overthink him and try to set up how it's going to be done. Just be ready. Just that's that example of the 10 virgins. Be ready. Okay. And they were not 100% ready. What do you mean, Deborah? They had one, once he came, they went out, went to do their lamp when it should have been ready. It just showing you we ain't gonna be perfect in this thing of being ready, but we're gonna be ready in him, not in us. Yep. But yeah, and they're gonna continue. They're not. Thank you. Praise the Most High Yah. Yes. Praise Ahaya Ahaya. Yes, Father Yah. But yes, we getting out of here. And you know, with me, I don't care how. Do you? I don't look. I don't have any questions to the Most High Yah. And he know I'm always raising my hand up in the wilderness, but I don't ask stuff like that. I don't know why. It's just not be knowing how he does his mighty hand, that power work when it come down to something like that. Always be ready from the inside. He starts smiling. Oh, yes, the food for the spirit. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I just can kind of feel it that something is. Someone approached me today, and they said something that kind of got me kind of troubled, y'all. It did kind of got me a little bit troubled. Daniel 7 had the book is open. Okay, I'm gonna look into that. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. You know what? Someone approached me um, and asked me, what did I mean about after August, something is going to happen? That individual asked, brought that right back to me. And I told him I was afraid to go back into it because of how August ended up for me. I would have accepted that as the 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 the, what would I say, the the ideal of something taking place. But then that individual said, but it's going to be September, isn't it? And I went back to thinking, dang, yes, it is. So I don't know what it is. And the individual was pretty much was just saying that it's something that we're going to look forward to seeing what it is, but we know that you said it to us. And I have. And I was trying to do this number, just kind of hide from it. Oh, I went through so much in the last week of August. Oh, that was it. That's it. That's just it. That's just it. No, no, that's not it. And I know what this man is talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about. All right. Yes. Appreciate you too. Food for our spirit. Yes. You think a dark winter. Or the same thing you spoke. And you know what? Do you see how they nitpicking with that V again? And the sad thing about it is, you would think enough people would be prepared to say that, wait a minute, y'all are doing this. Y'all doing this. Y'all making this thing up. But guess what, y'all? As I continue to understand the Most High right hand, when I look, listen to this. Listen to this. He gave a key. The Father gave a key to an angel and told him go down to the bottomless pit and open it up, and the smoke and locusts came up. When he told another angel to go down at the bottomless pit and let this one beast up to kill the two prophets. See, we got our Father bent up and bent down. We don't understand that this is his way of orchestrating everything without him doing it. He said, I created the wicked and the evil for the days of this. You see? So we have to see him in his highest power. When you go into Revelation, you start reading these things, you need to see him in this. You see what I'm saying? And stop putting something else there and people there and the heathens and the Gentiles in China and Russia. Even he said how he gonna battle with Russia. See, we have to stop putting people in the place of the prophecies of the Father. We got to go into Revelation. Oh, there you go. 2/3. You did that, Father. But look how he had it come past. Watch how he has things to come to pass. That gives you hope that this is the type of a creator I serve. You mean he is who I serve? You mean the one that tells someone to tell an angel, here it is a key, go to the bottomless pit, let the beast up, and the beast is to go kill the two prophets? Come on. The two witnesses, which was the two witnesses? Come on. See, you got to see the hand of the Father. I love it. I love it. Because this is his. He ruled this. He said, I am the what? The beginning and the end. The Alpha and Omega. What else did he say? I was, I am, and I shall be. We got to put him under that authority to be all that and some. And stop assuming that he's some flesh of a man and he thinks like a man, feel like a man, and act like a man, because that's the way men see him. They don't see him nowhere above them, only at their level, that they may get pleasure in their will. You see? Makes sense, don't it? And this is why I thank him for having all these beasts, all these horses, all this stuff he got rolling up and destroying things, letting things be destroyed by his mighty power order. He called it and it is. He said, and there it is. While we sitting here trying to figure out Russia and China and the Gentiles and the heathen this and he. How about seeing who y'all is in this? Go back and try to figure out. Now I ain't gonna try to figure out. Say, Father, this is you, ain't it? It's you, ain't it, Father? So he can tell you, yeah, it's me. Now what? What you gonna do? You see, we have to take that power back to the one who have all power. That's our main problem. That's one of our main problems, because we don't want to give him that prompts, especially our men. They ain't gonna turn that power, their little weak power, over to the Most High Yah, because they want an idol God, so they can keep their little power that they think they have, and they don't understand you ain't got none. See, this is where they messed up from the floor up. And I say to you all, it's so important to give the power back. And when I say give the power back, it ain't like you took it from them. It ain't like you took it from them. Even Yeshua tell you everything that I done, that was my Father. He came here telling us that. We gone. We wants to give it to the Son. The Son said and telling, no, y'all, it ain't me. It's the Father. See, he kept on. His whole mission was to let us know everything is his Father. And many still today don't understand that everything that was, everything that is, and everything that shall be is in my Father, a higher, mighty right hand. That's just it. And that's a point where you know the world is all off course and out of order, because his power gonna remain. He was saying that what is it, that river, that Ephraim River, when he told me it's gonna dry up, what did he say coming up? What did he say coming up from out of there? See, who gonna bring that up? Satan ain't got that power. The one who created all things, who know what's under there, he gonna do it. You see? So a lot of us, this is why you have to have a brand in you of fear of him, because you know him like that. You don't know him like man said that he is. You know him for who he is. One that can't be played with. Know that he is all that and some that he said he was, and that he said he is, and that he says he's going to be. When you see him like that, you have a fear for him, for who he is. And it's not a fear. It ain't, you know what's a good, it's a good fear. It's a good fear. But you know he got you in the midst of it all. So that's also something that's actually taking place even as we speak. We don't understand that a lot of things he is doing. He is doing it, and it's some things that I had a hard time gripping. And to the Father said, "Wait a minute, Deborah, didn't you see me get that beast from the bottomless pit to kill the two to take the lives of the two witnesses? Didn't you see me do that? I tell you what, hold up. Everything that's going on, did you see the 4 horses release? Yeah. What do you? What's your problem? You got a problem with that? See, we don't look at him like that, but we should. We should look at it as if no heathen, no Gentile, no Russia, no China got the power to do nothing without my Father. Without my Father. That's when you respect him like that. When you know him like that, you respect him like that, you tell people that that's who he is. He all that and some. Nobody does nothing without him. So that should tell you right there. Nobody. So when we're running around giving the world the credit, the authority, and the right, we put everything in their hand, and he let them do whatever they want to us. You want to give it to them, give it to them. But when it all said and done, I'm going to get them and you too. How you like me now? Earthquake, tsunami, fire. Don't mess with my Father, because he's not the one to be played with. See him for who he is. He is all creator of all things, all power. And you talking about a gave heart and who he is. All that he have, he's given us and have gave us. And we can't see nothing he's done. Isn't that sad? So I, Sister Deborah, will say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I hope you got something out of this message. It is truly food for the spirit. And I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, says, I'll be back. Shalom and shalom.